looking around for salvation. I've been looking around for the truth. All around me I see frustration, and I looked all over till I found you. I sit and listen to your stories, and you're telling me, please don't worry. There's a lot in this world you should know, and love in life is where you should go. If you're looking for somewhere to go, if you're looking for someone to know, if you're looking for someone to guide you, then love in life will guide you.
Koinant! Good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world, and welcome to tonight's live stream. Before I get Reuel on to discuss cryptocurrencies, first some updates which are very, very interesting. Later tonight I'll be posting a video in which a shareholder in the South African Reserve Bank, Fani Fonsa, raises serious allegations about or against Nedbank and Old Mutual and the theft of 186,000, wait for it, 186,000 tons of gold from the South African Reserve Bank. Fani was the man who confirmed the existence of the White Spiritual Boy Heritage Fund at South African Reserve Bank during the press conference by Tokyo Sekwali last week. On a related matter, I've had a couple of discussions on livestream regarding securitization fraud by the First National Bank, and now that bank is in more trouble. A case of corruption and money laundering was opened against First Rand Bank and First National Bank on Tuesday for allegedly providing banking facilities to EOH, despite reports of the company being implicated in acts of corruption. The banking system in South Africa, like everything else, is in a mess. From the South African Reserve Bank down to your smallest retail bank. On Saturday, the 1st of May at 8 p.m, I will be talking to Greg Smith about his ABSA experience, securitization and attempted foreclosure fraud. Tonight we're going to be talking to Reuel about cryptocurrencies, an alternative option for storing wealth outside the banking system. I have no issue with declaring that I did put my foot into the water of crypto after the first live stream I had with Reuel. My appetite being whetted by the earlier live stream I had with Willie Jordan. I put a few thousand of my pension savings into crypto and followed Reuel's advice. After a few weeks, I'd made enough profit to remove my initial investment, meaning I cannot lose on what I have left in crypto, even if they all go back to zero. One of my altcoins I invested in, which is Dodge, has risen 400% in this short time frame. While profits can be huge, so can losses. Bitcoin itself has fallen over 20% in recent days. Most important of all, the discussion tonight is not financial advice, by implication or design. For everyone listening, it is your own personal decision on whether or not to trade in the volatile crypto markets. I'll get Reuel on. Please remember to subscribe to Loving Life on YouTube and register on lovinglifetv.com, which includes a great forum. Here we go. I'm going to get Reuel now. Hi, Reuel.
Hi, Scott.
How are you?
Great, thanks, and you?
Excellent, thank you. Excellent. I've just told people I put my foot in the water and have done very handsomely when it comes to cryptos with your help. Now, Reuel, before we get stuck into this subject, and we're going to be looking at the cryptos from a slightly different angle tonight, I just want to make an announcement to everybody watching. And that is that Reuel does offer training courses and has approached us, this is lovinglifetv.com, to be a sponsor to promote their courses. This sponsorship will help pay some compensation to a couple of those people working in the Loving Life team for their unpaid time, working long hours, and their much appreciated efforts. We have a second sponsor joining us soon, and where applicable, please support our sponsors. If you know of someone who could benefit from advertising on lovinglifetv.com, please ask them to email me. Now, getting back to you, Reuel, in my intro, I said that crypto trading is a very unpredictable platform where fortunes can be made and lost, which really brings us up to the importance of your training course so people know what they're doing. For example, Bitcoin has been dropping about 26% in the last week. Where to now?
Right, Scott. You see, somebody that is what we call hodlers, these people that continue to hold on for dear life, that's what it stands for. These people, you cannot change their mind. They want to hold on. They believe that this has got a future. They believe that it's going to be, and I believe it too. But I also believe that there's corrections that need to come. And maybe if I share my screen, I will actually show you how we possibly predict the next moves. Of course, nothing I say is financial advice. So I want to tell you that I'm not a financial advisor, but can you see my screen?
Yes, I can, yeah.
All right, so we can see a 15-minute graph. We can see that the price is just going astronomically high. I'm just going to change it to 1 hour graph. We can see that it's actually went high, and it's made some serious dips. And those serious dips actually affect the traders' portfolios quite drastically.
Right.
And what we like to do is we want to look at a bigger picture than this. So what we talk a 1 week graph, and if you look at that 1 week graph, you can see that wave went very, very high, and it's busy tumbling at the moment. How it can sustain itself is a miracle. But then I go one step further and I put it on a 1 month chart, and anybody that's got a little bit of sense would know no wave can just go up steeply and just stay going up steeply. So
right.
There's been a lot of hype. There's been a lot of companies talking about Bitcoin, but Bitcoin itself has really, and we'll go into that with the questions you're going to ask later about sustainability. The price, is it really worth the price? Look, I want to take a balanced look at the Bitcoin. I don't worship any coin. I teach my traders, you have to make money. You're not here to fall in love with any coin, because falling in love makes you lose money.
Okay. Oh, can you get rid of that little black box in the middle at the top? Just click on it and move it. That one.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's.
So you can actually. All right. Good.
Yeah. Okay, we've lost your screen.
Okay, let's go share screen again.
Yeah, that's actually my little icon for being on Skype.
Right. Can you see that? My screen?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for something to come. I see a big black screen in the middle. Oh, there we are. Now it's gone. Okay, just move that little black thing out of the way. Just take it. Yeah,
Right.
okay, that's it. Right. Okay. So we're back to the screen, and this is an annual screen, is it?
This is every one of these candlesticks are what we call a 1 month
Oh,
candlestick.
1 month screen. Okay.
So what we use the Bollinger Bands to help us. It's telling us that the market volume, according to the market volume, the extreme price should be 49,000. But ideally, you want to be inside the Bollinger Bands for your ideal trades. We see that red candlestick is a big red candlestick at the moment,
a dip.
and that's the sign of weakness. And we've actually seen it going too high, too quickly, too fast. So there has to be a correction.
Now, can I ask you a question? Which I heard that the reason for this big correction was not so much that people thought that the Bitcoin had reached a peak, but because in Turkey they have outlawed Bitcoin, and there's also now comments being made in the US that Bitcoin's been used to launder money, and they're going to stamp down on it. And I think this played a role in that. Can you talk about that?
Well, what we do is, one of my courses I give is called an astro science course. Well, it's a science of prediction using markets, moon phases, and a whole lot of seasonal stuff that traders often ignore. You'll see a trader doesn't care whether it's Monday or Friday, they just want to make money. And
Right.
What happens, I warn the traders in advance. I say, you will know that because it was at the top of the wave, when it's at the top of the wave and it's about to correct itself, the bad news comes automatically. So people want those confirmations to know, oh, maybe I should get out. But if you look at the graphs, and that's how they predicted 9/11. They looked at the graphs, and the graphs are telling you certain factors about the market. The FBI and the CIA were warned, and they ignored it. So traders have a way of predicting the markets. It doesn't help you waking up to bad news and then finding out you've made a 25% loss.
Right.
You rather want to see it happen in advance. You don't want to listen to all this nonsense and talking. Everybody's trying to make some prediction in the market, but they're not even traders. They're just news agencies.
Right. So tell us where it's going. Where's Bitcoin going?
Well, Bitcoin has to make a correction. So I've made a little yellow mark here. It might just go, once it's hit this SMA, it might make a U-turn. I'm expecting the Bitcoin in South African rands possibly hitting around between 3.5 and 4.5 million rand by the end of this year. So you can take probably between 220 and 300,000 US dollars by the end of this year.
Wow. Now, just on that particular point, Reuel, why wouldn't you just leave if you were what you call like a holder, someone who just doesn't, they just hang on to their Bitcoin, even if it drops 20%, why wouldn't you hold on to it? Because by December you're going to be up to that huge amount you just mentioned. Because if you sell out at the wrong time and the thing starts taking off, then you've really copped it hard.
That's a very, very good question. But in my 5 years of training experience, giving guys training, most people that say they're investors aren't investors. And when they see their portfolios, and here's an example right in front of us. This was the 2017 bull run, the big Bitcoin bubble. And guess what? The price came up 20 times its value from January, was at around $1,000, and then it became almost $20,000 in 1 year.
Yeah.
It took a whole year to recover.
Right.
So I want to play careful. I don't want it because maybe in the future it's going to go up. I don't want it maybe because of if the stock market drops, Bitcoin will drop together with the stock market. This is what we saw in March last year. There, that red candlestick there. Thus, it dropped together with the stock markets, except that Bitcoin versus the stock market has gone up a lot higher. The Dow Jones doesn't show graphs like this. The Dow Jones shows a steep graph, but not this kind of parabolic growth. This graph is actually showing you the devaluation of the dollar and the rand.
Right. Okay, so what you're saying in effect is that even though it's dropped something like 26% in the last week or so, it's going to jump in price by about 200 to 300%, possibly by the end of this year.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. And remember, Bitcoin has a 4-year cycle. So we see every 4 years that it has a huge bull run. And then the first year, it crashes virtually the whole year. You can see 25th, what was that? That was 2018. The whole year it dropped. It was only 2019 that it picked up again.
Yeah.
But that doesn't, we're only talking about Bitcoin. There's at least 500-600 other cryptocurrencies that are very low in price that we are trading in the meantime. And they don't really care what Bitcoin is doing. They are growing because they're newer protocols, they're faster, they're cheaper, and they have better futures than Bitcoin.
Right. Now, just on that point, I want to just take us back a few weeks. And you suggested me I should invest in a crypto called Dodge, which I did. And that crypto, when I bought it, it's like a penny terrible. It's like 0.05 cents per coin, if I can put it that way. But it has jumped like 400% in value since I got that crypto. And because of the volume, you make a lot more money as a result than if you just had one investment in Bitcoin, because that little crypto increases so dramatically. Now, that's just one of the tricks of the trade, isn't it?
Well, this is what we want to teach people, Scott, and this is why I love doing what I'm doing. I mean, I'm going to take you to Altcoin Trader. There's 20. This is where I'm doing my first courses next week on this. On 4 of the coins, my traders made between 250 and 350% this last month.
Wow!
Because I told them the strategy. They need to trade with a cheap coin. Some of these coins are 10 cents, 1 rand 80, 4 rand 58. These protocols, let's call them protocols, they were created for a reason. Where Bitcoin was created as a coin and an exchange or a store of value, whereas all of these other cryptocurrencies are actually giving you something for your money, and they're giving the banks a way to keep information. They are there to create new lending systems. There's a whole lot of stuff that they're doing, and they're so cheap, and they go up a lot faster.
Right. Now, just talking about that, how many new protocols are there versus ones that have come out of the blockchain itself? And how does the future of Bitcoin look to all these new technologies?
All right, so I'll use this just for an example so that everybody can see today how many new cryptocurrencies were launched.
Wow.
You can see 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. If we go there, yesterday there were 5 new cryptocurrencies launched. The previous day there were like 6, 7, 8 possibly. And you can see that the list is endless. So for somebody like us, or somebody that's new in the space, they wouldn't know where to start.
Yeah, exactly.
What we do is we are constantly analyzing this with top traders and developers in the space, because a trader often doesn't know really what's happening. All they want to do is they want to make money, but they don't even know what they're making money on. They don't even know what it's for.
No.
So these new these new protocols are created for the whole lot of new spaces. We at least know every week there's a new, at least one good one that's been created.
Now, I just want to address the side chat. We've had a few people who said, how do we get in touch with Reuel? The best way is to contact Marlena, Marlena de Villiers. I can see her in the side chat. Marlena, if you just want to put your email address in there, I think that's the most direct way for people to contact Reuel. So, yeah, I'll leave that for Marlena to put her email address in there. All right, sorry, back to you, Reuel.
Right. So all of these new protocols are there, and as they start joining hands with Google and Facebook and PayPal, we know that these have a future, because I mean, besides what our feelings are about these giant advertising companies, these guys are adding value to their systems and making their systems more reliable. So we actually had an interview on Sunday with a guy who's is a developer, South African guy that's from Zimbabwe, and he shared some amazing information with me of what these guys are busy doing at the moment. And I personally think that the banks should start worrying. They should start worrying, because if they're not joining forces with this, they are gone, including insurance companies.
Right. Now, on that particular point, when you talk about PayPal, they would be using a particular type of crypto, like Ethereum or Bitcoin or something like that. Now, one of the traps that I've discovered the hard way when you go into Bitcoin, and that's why I just put my foot in the water, is if you pick the wrong wallet to keep your coin in, you're very restricted as to what you can trade and how you can trade. And that can be very frustrating when you want to sell out when let's say your altcoin is making a lot of money, and you find that you can't because your wallet doesn't have that facility. And you're kind of stuck in this loop until you can get another wallet which allows you to do that. So the selection of the wallet is very, very important, isn't it?
Well, in your case, where you are on an overseas exchange that has limited, it's like Coinbase. Coinbase is called an exchange, but it's for the entry level person wanting to put their foot in the water, and the one that you're on seems like the same kind of situation. But on an exchange like this, where you can sell straight back to rands, and if you decide you want to go into a different one, you just use the rands to buy that, or you can withdraw straight back into your bank account. So we don't want you to go on your own and go and make the mistakes, because the mistakes are obviously costly.
Oh, look, that cost me a lot of money. It's a lot of profit, I guess you could say, because the damn thing went right up, and then I wanted to get out of it, and I couldn't because of my wallet, and then it came down again. I was so annoyed.
Yes. So some of them are very limited in the way they do. So for the South Africans, we normally take them onto a simple South African platform that has easy accessibility. Once you withdraw, provided you're not going to withdraw on the weekend, you can even do an instant withdrawal. That means in the same hour you can have your funds back in your bank account. And I have firsthand, I'm on a WhatsApp group with 3 of the developers and the support team for my team. So anytime anybody has a problem, I have it sorted out within minutes. So, we don't want you to make them. We've made all these mistakes. We've done a good job of making mistakes. So in the course, we will tell you, how to do the thing right and not how to do the thing wrong.
Yeah. No, look, that's important, because, as I said, I could have paid for your course a couple of times over with that one mistake with the wallet.
Crazy.
Now, let's talk quickly about Ethereum, and Because it has been now suggested that it will become the new Bitcoin. You must have heard that.
Well, Ethereum, yes, because Ethereum has actually got use in the market. Ethereum was the first multi-dimensional coin. When Bitcoiners look, it's like a 2D. It's got two sides of the coin.
Right.
Where Ethereum is like a 3D model. It's got models within itself, and what Ethereum protocol does, it's actually is almost like a pipeline. I don't know. I mean, DHL is the biggest transport company in the world. So let's compare DHL to Ethereum. If you start a Mickey Mouse company that wants to transport parcels, you will then possibly go and sign a deal with DHL so that they can transport your parcels at a small fee, and then
Right.
you still make money. That's exactly what Ethereum does. There's at least 200-300 different cryptocurrencies that are piggybacking off their blockchain, that
Yeah.
are using their pipeline to transport funds and to keep a reliable ledger of what's going on.
And this is another a trap as well, which I also hit, and that is if you don't have Ethereum and you try and buy or sell one of the altcoins which actually works through Ethereum, they won't accept it because you've got to pay your fees in Ethereum. So you're stuck with the damn thing again.
Yes, I think you got into the wrong exchange.
That was Luna. I got out of Luna. I'm now actually using a Swift TX wallet, which is actually based here in Brisbane, and they're
Yes.
really good. They've got a good variety of altcoins, and their support is fantastic. I know where they work from because they've got their physical address on the software, and it's rather like the software you've got. It's very comprehensive.
Yes.
But it was one of my biggest, my beginner mistakes by having a little Luna wallet, which is not good. Well, not a Luna wallet, a Luna, yeah, it is a Luna wallet, but on my computer, that was very restricted.
Well, the technology has changed since we started 5.5, 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Everything has gone in leaps and bounds, improved so much more for the people. Some of my best traders are 50, 60, 70 years old.
They've got time on their hands.
They've got time on their hands and they're willing to learn.
Yeah.
And they're sitting at home and they're having struggles with their finances. Their money is getting less and less. And what do? I tell them don't go and buy Ethereum because you can obviously see the price is too high. Let's start with the Mickey Mouse coins that
Yeah.
have their seasons. So
The penny dreadfuls.
Yes, we call them penny stocks.
Penny stocks, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Now, what crypto is PayPal accepting now? Because as you mentioned, PayPal's a huge online platform. What crypto is it actually working at?
Well, their whole system hasn't become available to us yet to actually see what they've got, but they've been talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum and possibly some others. Obviously, with Elon Musk in the background promoting Dogecoin, they would possibly go that way because
Right.
you do not want to pay anything with Bitcoin or Ethereum. If you do, you're paying too high fees. I mean, Bitcoin wallet to Bitcoin wallet costs you around. I'm going to show you. Let me show you. I'm going to show you on the South African.
These are all the tricks and traps, guys. So just understand this is a very complex new area. But wow, if you play it well, you can certainly.
So it will cost you 407 rand. Whereas if you use Tron to Tron wallet, that will cost you, I think it was 3. So it will cost you 5.47 for a transaction.
Wow.
So you don't want to send it. Ethereum is probably about 270 rand. I've got a list of all the transactional fees, and it's not majorly different from one exchange to the other. So don't think you need, I mean, if you want to send somebody 400 Rand, you're going to have to send them 800 Rand because it's 400 Rand fee.
Yeah, it's crazy. Now, again, I just want to address you and address people watching. And the fact is, whether you like it or not, more and more people are entering the cryptocurrency trading every day. And they're doing it because they're unhappy with the banking system. They're looking for an alternative. And so it's not like a normal market situation where you've got a buyer and a seller and someone always loses and someone always wins. Because as the volume of people comes in, that puts pressure on the market price to go up, doesn't it?
Yes, yes.
And that's where the big winning is.
Well, to remain educated, when we teach the people, we teach them the indicators and all the different tools that they can use. But we don't use all the tools. We teach them some common sense things that they need to look out for, like seasons and seasons of the year. As the seasons change, even full and new moon has effect on the markets, like we saw yesterday.
Yeah.
All of those things, and then of course, no coin, normal cryptocurrency or any coin would go up for more than one season without taking a dip. So one season is 3 months. So once you do all of those studies, then you can make more calculated decisions on what you're going to buy, because you're here to make money, not to fall in love.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. Now, how threatened is the finance sector with blockchain technology? Can we switch back to you, Reuel?
Yes, let me just put my camera up.
There you go. That's it. Okay. Now, I'll just repeat that question. How threatened is the finance sector with blockchain technology?
Well, it's majorly threatened because every single bank is already using it except for 2 banks in South Africa. The banks are already using Ethereum to back their clients' information on, backups on. They're already developing, even the South African Reserve Bank has got a blockchain initiative that they got developers building a blockchain for them. And they are thinking of creating a digital rand. I mean, everything is digital already. They just need to come to the party.
Right.
And what makes the banking system, what threatens them is the fact that, just common sense. When you send a transaction from, let's say, ABSA to Nedbank, and you don't do a pay and clear fee, then that person has to wait a day or 2.
Yeah.
And how fast is the internet? Come on, don't tell me you can't move digits within seconds.
Well, let me put it this way, Reuel. You think of 30 years ago, South African Post. Everybody posted letters to each other and they took a few days to get to the other end. Now, South Africa Post is one of the victims, like Australia Post, of the internet, because everybody now sends emails because it's bang like that. And what you're saying is within the banking system, they have the same issue.
Well, the South African Post Office, at least they evolved. They went straight into cell phone towers and cellular and into cable and DF. They had to evolve quickly. So the post office, the physical post office side, is probably maybe 5% of what it used to be.
But my point is that the traditional way of sending a notice to someone by post, a letter, has gone.
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah. Well, nobody wants to do that anymore.
Yeah, and the same with the banking system. If they don't, lift their game, people are going to be looking for a way they can move money faster.
Well, what the biggest threat is at the moment, and I don't really want to go into this on this call, but just to make the people excited about it, is that the cryptocurrency space, you already got a loaning system where you can put your cryptocurrency down as a deposit and take a loan for the equivalent of what you, or even more sometimes, of what you've learned or what you've deposited, and pay it off over 12 months with 1.5% or 5% interest per year. So, I mean, when people start comparing apples to apples and stuff like that, they want better systems. They want faster systems.
Yeah. Yeah, that's understandable. I mean, our world has just sped up so much, and I don't know how much further we can actually speed it up. Now, let's talk about millionaires. I mean, it's a subject that really needs to be discussed. Those people who got into Bitcoin back in 2011, 2012, the guy who bought one hamburger for 100 Bitcoins, he must be kicking himself today. But how many millionaires are going to be made out of cryptocurrencies when their prices go sky high?
This year and 2017, lots of millionaires were made and are being made right now because of these huge surges in the price. So anybody that had a little bit of faith in Dogecoin 5-6 months ago would have made more than 10 times their money back. So somebody with 100,000 would have been a millionaire, or somebody with 10,000, would have been 100,000 there.
Yeah.
So a lot have been made, and they're not publishing. Quite a few of my traders have become millionaires, but they don't go around and start buying cars and start doing stupid things.
But they're now financially stable. They've now financially got a stable income, and they have no financial worries. I mean, that's the big winning aspect, isn't it?
Yeah, well, one of my traders, Peter, phoned me the other day. I haven't heard from him in ages, and he was struggling to make ends meet. Him and his wife were hardly talking to each other because of finances. And he phoned me and he just said, "What you've taught me, the way you've taught me, I became a full-time trader. Some days I made $10,000 a day."
Wow.
He said, I made some mistakes. I did lose like $60,000 in one day, but I made it back up again. I just want to thank you for helping me. I wouldn't have known that if you didn't tell me.
Yeah. Now, would you recommend a newbie like I was to start out buying Bitcoin and doing transactions right away?
No, I would really like to help somebody like that, just to get their head wrapped around what Bitcoin is. My wife is running a free entry-level "What is Bitcoin, what is blockchain" course,
right,
on Tuesday nights, and then next Wednesday night I will be running a South African 2-night trading course for those who want to go into trading, because not everyone wants to trade. Some of the traders that want to go in want to come in as investors. So an investor says, what are the ones with a good backing, that are low in price, and I want to buy them and I want to sell them in 3 or 6 months' time.
Right.
So there's two different kind of people. So that's where we sit and advise people, because people, you don't want to just buy into something and tomorrow it's worth half the value. Now, I want to tell the people on the program this: we don't do leverage or futures, we just do plain spot trading. And spot trading is the old-fashioned way of trading. So if the price drops 10%, if you sell it 10% lower than what you bought it for, you only lose 10% in value. If you're doing leverage trading and it drops 10%, you could probably wipe your whole portfolio out.
Yeah. No,
so
that's risky.
So I've got a little slide in a presentation just to show you at the end of what we're presenting, and then we've got a link to that. That where both Marlena and I will get an email for somebody that's interested in the courses.
Yeah. Now, what I'll do is I'll put the link to your contact page below this video, in the description, so people can just click on that and
Yes.
tell you what they're looking for. So just to summarize, your wife is now doing a Tuesday night course, which is free. People can just come on in and get just understand what crypto is. And if they go to, people just take the link that'll be below this video in the description. They can then say, hey, I'd like to try that Tuesday free course, and then you guys will get in contact with them and tell them what to do. And then your other one, which you talked about, is the Wednesday 2-day course. How much is that?
That is 1,997 Rand. Yes, that's the 2-day course.
Yeah. Well,
And then, of course,
I can just tell you from experience that, hey, I've lost a lot more of that because I didn't know what I was friggin' doing when it came to Bitcoin. So it's well worth getting, if you have an interest in getting into Bitcoin, it's well worth doing this course. Back to you, Reuel.
yes, let me just do a little share screen again, and then I'll show you on the list that what we've got. You can see that. Let's make it slideshow. Can you see that?
Yeah, that's great.
All right, so then the Loving Life get a 15% discount. It ends up at 1,697.
Do you hear that, guys? Because you're with Loving Life, you get a 15% discount on the normal price. How's that? Okay, back to you, Reuel.
Right. And then the week thereafter, we're doing the full trading course. It's an international trading course, so you're going to be trading on international exchanges if you're a little more serious. What I will do is, if people do enter for the bigger course, we'll give them the first course on the house. That's the week before, so that they can get even more information. And with each one of these courses, we do live practical trades, so that the people can actually sit and trade with and see how it's done.
Right.
Because teaching people the shortcuts, just indicators, doesn't help them much. There's a lot more common sense to trading that people. And then what we also do is we give you a free month's signals. In other words, I put you on a WhatsApp group which will tell you what we decided what is good to trade for the day.
Yeah,
so you don't just get.
I'm on that WhatsApp group. It's fantastic.
So you don't get left in the dark. So at least you get what is the flavor of the day. We tell the guys a month in advance what they can look at, and all of those coins the guys make money on.
Yeah.
So that is the link. But if you got it in the description, normally I just also put the QR code that takes you to that page. If you scan it with your phone, you can just it takes you to the.
I'll just put the link in the side chat there. Just can you go back to that link?
Yeah, let's just share screen again.
We got that big black block up.
Is it out? Can you see it?
Oh no, I've still got the big black block in the way. That's it. Now it's gone. Okay. Okay, just give me a second while I just copy this down into the side chat. bitbybit.co.za. And by going through Loving Life, they get the discount.
Yes.
Okay. www.bitbybit.co.za Loving Life. Okay. Okay, guys, that's the link. If you I've got a question mark in there. Hang on, let me do this again. Sorry, that's the wrong link. Okay, let's get rid of that question mark and put in one of those. That's better. Bitbybit.co.za. Okay. All right, there you go. That's the correct link. Okay, Reuel, let's get back to your screen again.
Okay, quickly make sure that I can. Right, can you see me again?
I can. Now, the thing that I found fascinating when we had our last discussion was you said that the blockchain is going to be used across different industries, and if you hook into a alt currency, which might be something like Dodge, for example, where Elon Musk, they're talking about him building a super city next to his SpaceX, and they're going to use Dodge coin, and that's why Dodge is now just starting to fly. But the blockchain, which is behind these alt coins, is really the technology that's going to be embraced by different industries to basically secure their information. Can you explain the relationship of that and how that's going to impact on the front end, if I can call it that? In other words, the alt coin.
I attended a blockchain conference 2-3 years ago at Microsoft head office in Johannesburg. Microsoft is using blockchain for a whole lot of stuff that's happening in the background. So when we talk about coins, the guys don't talk about the coin. They talk about the protocol that they're using, which has features about it that is assisting certain things that they've been struggling years for. Because the first place is information is gold. Information or data, so data or information gets manipulated, it gets deleted, it gets lost, and we've seen, like with the Cape Town University, that stuff just gets burned down.
Yeah.
So if there wasn't any backups done or scans done of those books and put onto hard drives and servers, even a server can go down. Whereas all of this information that we are rapidly increasing information on a daily basis. In fact, it's an information overload. There's too much information, there's too much knowledge. And if you had to sit all day and listen to everything that's happening in the world, it's too much. So what the blockchain is doing, it is storing the information in hundreds of locations across the world.
So it can't be lost.
So that it cannot be lost and it cannot be hacked. Because once you'll see that the next generation Dropbox or OneDrive or Google Drive is already cheaper than what's available. And it cannot be hacked. Basically, the information you store on these protocols gets scrambled so badly that they can't, if they're looking for your information, they can't find it because it's scrambled and encoded very deeply.
Wow. You know, it's amazing how strong computers are today. They're talking about a supercomputer that the Chinese are bringing out, which uses laser technology. And apparently it's going to be something like 100 times more powerful than the current computer technology using a completely different type of system. In other words, not the circuit boards and stuff like that. It is frightening.
True. If we take the cell phones, where these things have come from, 10, 15, 20 years ago, in 2001, the first cell phone with internet came out. It was a Nokia 3330, and it had what we call WAP, and it had a green screen, and it was using a very slow internet. So the world that we're living in is rapidly increasing. The competition between companies are increasing to bring the best technology. We'll be doing holographic calls in the future. We will all, whoever wants to be in the room will be sitting and talking to each other, even though we're not physically there.
So what happened to social distancing?
Well, at least then you can't pass the virus. Maybe they'll embed virus into your image, and then you can transfer that to someone else. Because those viruses are more dangerous than the ones that we think are dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, look, the technology is just extraordinary, isn't it?
It's amazing. And blockchain, the reason why blockchain will take the world, is taking the world, is because it's less than tenth of the price of anything that's available today.
Wow. Now, what about artists and music? We actually have jamming sessions here on Loving Life TV. How would they benefit from blockchain?
I've got a very interesting, maybe one of the future shows we can actually do an interview with an artist who does digital art, and she sells her digital art for 3 Ethereum. Now, if you looked at the price of Ethereum around 30,000 Rand, you can imagine an artist drooling over income like that. So with the blockchain, and that's why we got the artists that are creating music, for instance. If you create music, it gets duplicated many times. So an artist makes money 1 in probably 20 times he could have made money. Where the blockchain is going to take that thing away. Many years ago, a coin came out, it's still available, called Namecoin. And the whole protocol was set when you buy a piece of music or a piece of art or something off an internet site, and you forward it to your friend, that the friend opens it and it's a corrupt file. It cannot be duplicated again.
Right.
So it has embedded code in there that makes it that artist only benefits from that sale, and somebody has to buy it to unless they put an audio cable and record it from device to device like we did in the old days with the tape players.
Right. Now, I'm just going to ask a question of the side chat. I can see there are a lot of people here who obviously are in cryptocurrencies. If you put your foot in the water, or if you're a trader in crypto, if you have made money out of crypto, please put 1 in the side chat. If you have lost money by getting involved in crypto, please put a 2 in the side chat. Let's see what the outcome is there. Okay. Now, what exciting things can we expect in this space in the next few months, Reuel?
So, as negative as what we experienced with all the lockdowns in the world last year, we saw the same kind of thing happen with the world at war. When the world is at war, it forces companies and technology at a rapid rate because there's competition against each other. They want to have the best weapons. So last year, a lot of new technologies and new thoughts, when people are forced to stay at home and not to walk around and social, they are either they go into depression, or they actually make something of that. And the protocols that are coming out it's actually overwhelming, because I know of people that are struggling seriously financially, especially the artists, guys that they couldn't do gigs anymore. And now they've got this space where they can start uploading their files, their music, and have people paying them for online gigs to play for them individually, virtually. And then, of course, our technology, our cell phones will be changing. Our new cell phones that are coming out are actually going to be virtually indestructible. You'll be able to drive over your phone without hurting it. And the laptops, the tablets, everything technologically will be much better than it was. So besides that, is that the technology that blockchain is bringing is just bringing what we call a trustless society, where we don't need to worry if we're going to trust the bank, or we're going to trust someone to do something, because we've got something operating in the background.
Right. Okay.
And we've got new job opportunities that are coming up, new opportunities for people that want to learn this space and actually can help newbies coming into the space. Like, I mean, when cell phones came out, people didn't want to touch cell phones
Yeah.
until they realized this is a necessity. We can't operate in the old world anymore. We need to change and upgrade.
Now, look, this is obviously going to be an exploding market. If you've got a son who's really good at maths and computers and he's just about to go to university, do they have university courses covering blockchain and stuff like that?
I've only seen recently that one university started a blockchain course, but all the guys that are in the blockchain space, there's a few companies that are actually giving the people courses on blockchain technology and how it works.
Right.
So it's not mainstream yet. It's not in the universities yet because it's such a new technology.
Right. Okay. So, but it would be an excellent option for people, wouldn't it? If they're wanting to get into a career that's, it's like, I listened to a very interesting video back in 2000. It was brought up by Sony, and they said that in 10 years' time, something like a third of the jobs that people have today will no longer be there, and they'll be replaced by jobs that we haven't even thought of. And that is exactly what is happening. There are different types of jobs that are coming out that didn't exist 5 years ago.
Well, the banking industry was predicted to do that. I mean, 1999, there was a book called The End of Work, and they predicted that the banking industry by 2008 there would be 50% less staff. Now we can imagine with 50% less staff right now, they even less than 50% of that. I mean, the last update I heard of FNB, where somebody was bragging on their profile how they've been doing upgrades, and I said, did you notice there was no upgrading of staff, but upgrading of machines and computers? So banking will totally be machinery and computers because it costs so much money to have people and buildings.
Right.
So all of that eventually people that are in the banking industry or working in the banks need to think of something else. This isn't going to go on forever.
Yeah, absolutely. And you'll start getting loans and all sorts of stuff through cryptocurrency, won't you?
That's exactly what my friends are doing. They're taking crypto loans.
Wow.
And the power of the crypto loan, I won't go into too much detail on this. A friend of mine, he took a loan with Bitcoin, and he basically put, let's say, 0.1 Bitcoin, and he took a loan of another 0.1, and then it gets billed to you in the dollar value of the loan. So in other words, he took, let's say the dollar value at that time was $2,000. By the time that the Bitcoin doubled its price, the loan was paid off.
Wow.
So he didn't even need to pay it back because the value actually doubled.
Wow. Yeah, look, it is a high risk investment, but if you hit it right, wow, can you make lots of money? And I should make it clear to people that we are not financial advisors, neither Reuel or myself. All we're doing is discussing the opportunities that can present themselves if you participate in cryptocurrencies. In fact, I asked a question a short while ago about how many people had made money on crypto and how many had lost money on crypto. And there were a lot of people who responded, and there was not one who had lost money on crypto. They'd all made money on crypto.
Yes, well, especially this year, and I'm sure if you if you had another option, number 3, is how many of you have not put your foot in the water yet? You'll be outnumbered with the ones, or outnumber the ones.
Yeah, and the more people that come into the market, the higher the prices go. It's supply and demand, isn't it?
Yeah, and so what we do is we want to be the early birds for the technology when it comes to buying it. and we want to sell it when it's high, and we basically just go from one technology to the other.
Right.
You often find these guys that are sending out emails on a daily basis, and then they're telling you, if you pay us $500, we'll tell you what the next big thing is that's going to be gives you 5,000%. So that's what we do with our traders all the time.
Yeah.
We let them know on a daily basis, this one you can buy and you can keep it for a month. There's some of the cryptocurrencies that can make between 500 and 2,500% in the next 2 months.
Right.
So we're just watching.
Okay. Hi, Annette and Hans. Thank you for joining us. Right. Now, we've pretty well covered everything we were going to cover tonight, Reuel. And I just wanted to summarize our discussion tonight. Basically, what we've been talking about, for those who've just joined us, are the opportunities that cryptocurrencies are providing to people as an alternative way of investing. And I have a very personal story to tell, which I told right at the very beginning. After my first live stream with Reuel many weeks ago, I put my foot in the water with some of my pension money, just a small amount. And taking Reuel's advice, I got into certain altcoins. And just 2 weeks ago, I actually took out the money that I'd initially invested into crypto and put it back into my pension fund. So I can't lose money now. So I've still got all the profits that I made, and I'm now trading with those. And one of the altcoins that I invested in, and this again was through Reuel's advice, was Dodge. And I've made over 400% in a few weeks on Dodge coins. And it's not just them. There are a bunch of different coins that you can invest in. But, if you go into this without knowing what you're doing, you're sure to lose money. And this is why we are suggesting that people contact Reuel, and his wife is doing a free course on Tuesdays, which is like just what is Bitcoin, how do I get into it, etc., etc. And then Reuel's doing one for people who are old farts like me, who's sitting behind the desk. They've got nothing to do, but they just see their pension money disappearing. They can go on one of these trading courses, and there's a big discount if you do it through Loving Life. I think it's 15% discount on the normal price to do the course. And there's a link. So please, guys, if you're interested in supplementing your income, and again, look, just understand crypto is very volatile. There's a big chance that you might take a knock here or there, but over the long term, you saw all those people who've been involved in crypto, who are watching this live stream, they've all made money. So that speaks for itself. Reuel, back to you.
Scott, just an interesting thing we did with our courses, because often people attend the course and they get overwhelmed with all the information, and they might not write fast enough and so on. What we do is, when the person signs up for the course and pays for it, we give them a link to the course online immediately, so that they can start going through the videos and the course materials. And they have unlimited time to watch those videos and that course material. So they can go over it and over it again. We actually add on continuously onto that information. So if the person says, I can't sit at night and watch the training, because the new world has changed the way we do stuff. So we don't have to physically sit and teach people, but we do it in any case just to help the people that have got questions. But so everything is already online, and the guys can get started right away if they want to.
Yeah, and importantly, what Reuel does not do is take on someone's cash and invest it for them in crypto, because that's just a very dangerous area to go into, because all he does is he trains people. So if you want someone to invest your crypto for you, and just be very, very careful, because it's just one click of the computer and your money is gone. So it's best if you do it yourself when it comes to crypto.
it's not that simple to lose money, but it's, in some people's cases, it has been the case. And that's why people so easy join these Ponzi schemes where they give you daily and weekly and monthly returns. And when you look again, that trader has lost money and hits the road. So we just teach people how to make their own money. We build a relationship with them, and and most of our people have been with us for the last 5 years.
Yeah, well, that speaks for itself. And I have to say, your WhatsApp I watch every day, and I find that very interesting, your advice and stuff like that. Alrighty, I'm going to wrap up this live stream. Yeah, is there any final comment you'd like to make, Reuel, before we wrap up?
Well, simply that we understand all walks of life. In the last 2 months, we've had people physically come to our training center and sit and train. We've got bigger packages for people who actually want to come and sit and trade together, learn to trade with us. I had an 18-year-old, he's just finished school. He is over the moon. He's made 30% this month on his portfolio. Then I had a lady in her 60s sit here for the last week. I actually have a video I took of her when we took her to the airport today. She is over the moon. Unfortunately, when she got to the airport, Mango has liquidated today, so she couldn't get a flight home, but it wasn't a problem because she's got enough money to pay for another flight. So we got all walks of life, and anybody can do this. We make it simple.
Right.
Thank you, Scott.
No, I've got a couple of questions that have just come in. Supernatural says, thank you for the info that left out most important facts about the cons of crypto. Well, that's why you've got to go on the basic training course with Reuel's wife, or go on the more advanced training with Reuel, because those will be discussed. I mean, look, we can't discuss everything in an hour. So, yeah. All right. Now, okay. Reuel, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Look, I will look forward to getting that sponsorship ad up on our Loving Life TV website and in our emails we send to people. And guys, please remember to subscribe to Loving Life on YouTube and lovinglifetv.com. Please register there. We are moving off YouTube, although we got nearly 100,000 subscribers on Loving Life. The reason we're moving off is on principle, because of the censorship that's taking place on YouTube. It's become a very, very dodgy platform, and we're very happy that nearly 6 months ago now we set up lovinglifetv.com, and Rudy's doing a fantastic job on that, and Nat's doing a great job with the forums, and we got a great team, and of course Marlena's doing an absolutely amazing job when it comes to the live streams. Alrighty, I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you, people in the side chat, for joining us there, and for everybody who's been watching tonight, thank you for joining us. And yeah, I'll just put in closing just that link once again, where you can actually click on that and go and register an interest. And there's no commitment. You can just put in your information, and Reuel or his wife will get back to you and discuss your options. Is that correct, Reuel?
That's right, Scott.
Okay, fantastic. All right, guys, I'm going to close up this live stream now. Please have a great evening, and I'll leave the side chat open for a few minutes so that you guys can say your goodbyes. And tomorrow night I'm talking to Dion Rebello, and we're going to be doing we're going to be talking about bullion, physical silver and physical gold. So this is like an investment week, if I can put it there, when it comes to